Where action. Hi there, this is Jason Snedden, the Abundance Activator, and here I am with Carol Benton. Carol has a business called Words to Win, and I met Carol about a year ago. She's part of a networking group in Melbourne that I belong to called Fresh Networking. And when I really saw Carol and her action was when she was running a workshop for attendees to master their minute. And it was something that I was certainly challenged with, was getting my spiel out in a very contained period so that people would capture what I did and understand what I did in a short period of time. So the process she took us through was really powerful, and it enabled me to really get clear on my offering and get clear on my words that really resonated with me, but also to help people understand what I did in a very short period of time. So I was really wanted to get Carol to come on and join me in conversation, because for those of us that are in business, those of us that have something to offer, often we get caught up with what to say, or we don't know how to language things in a way that is very clear and concise. And I just knew I needed to get you to come on. So thank you so much for joining me today, Carol. And so
thank you for having me, Jason.
Oh, my pleasure. So maybe just to start with Words to Win, how did Words to Win, I should say, how did that sort of evolve, and how did you come to be running this sort of business?
I've been running Words to Win for 5 years. Prior to that, I spent 30 years in a corporate career. I was in sales and marketing and leadership, most of it with IBM, and which I thoroughly enjoyed. And at the end of 30 years, there was an offer I couldn't refuse. So I took the money and ran. But I didn't know what to do next. I started exploring ideas with a mentor, a coach, and one day he said to me, we were originally thinking about what sort of job I'd go and apply for next, and he said to me, "You don't want a job, you want to work for yourself." And you know how sometimes it takes someone else to say something before you even give yourself permission to think about it. And suddenly it was so crystal clear that's what I wanted more than anything else. And then it was a question of, well, what do I do? And here again, it was somebody else that helped me put the idea into my head. It was one of my team in IBM who said to me, "Oh, Carol," he said, "when you go, we're going to be so stuck when we're writing proposals." He said, "You're so good at pulling ideas together and writing those executive summaries and just really making things clear." And I thought, yeah, actually, I think I am quite good at that. I wonder if there's a business in it. And 5 years on, yes, there is. And I absolutely love what I do. I love helping people to understand how to communicate their value. And yeah, so that's sort of how it came about. The name itself took a little bit of thinking about, but I thought, well, words are a business tool. They help you to win business, hence Words to Win.
It's perfect, isn't it? So catchy. Yeah. And it's I mean, it's sort of really fundamental for you to actually get your right titling or
Yes.
business name, and of course you've got it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing I noticed about you, and having seen you speak at a number of things, and being part of visiting your Bright and Fresh, I see your passion. You exude the passion for what you do. It's clearly evident. So you're definitely doing what you're meant to be doing.
Yeah, do you know, it's interesting, Jason. I read as a business coach, I think her name's Ali Brown, and I read that she said, if you're trying to find what you're passionate about or why you're passionate about something, think of yourself age 12. And I think of myself age 12. I was a bit of a geeky kid, and I loved languages. So I'd been lucky enough to start learning foreign languages in primary school, and then in secondary school at the age of 12, I'd started another couple of foreign languages. And I realized that's where my passion comes from. I love translating. So I love the idea that person A and person B can't speak to each other, but then if I can help them to understand each other's language or act as the translator, communication can take place. And I loved that then, and that's what I do now. I translate. I help companies get their message out there in a way that their clients understand, in their clients' language, and that's what I do. I help them translate. And it's what I've loved doing ever since I was, well, younger than 12 even.
So now you've made a business of it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's come full circle.
Yeah. And so how do you, so, you know, if you're working with a business or a small, an individual, how do you, how do you work with people really? Just, yeah.
So look, there's two ways I work with people. The majority of my clients want me to write for them. However, there are also some smaller clients who want to learn to do it themselves, and I teach people how to create great content through workshops. But most of my clients, mainly in the IT space, because that's my background, and B, because they are often the people who find it hardest to talk about the value of what they do. They're very good at talking about their technology, but they're not so good at talking about the value of what they do. And what we do is we first of all start with a strategy. So I do a strategy session with them where we plan out what their message is, and then I write it for them, and it might be in various forms. So it might be articles that they post on LinkedIn or on their website blog. It might be content on their website. It might be case studies. It might be white papers. It might be tender responses. Any form of written communication. And so I work with them. Usually they engage with me for a 3 or 6 or 12 month period of time. So I do a 3, 6 or 12 month plan, and that can be anything from one piece of content a month to one piece of content a week. So we do the strategy, and then I write that content for them so that their message gets out there to their clients really consistently.
Right. Okay. Great. And so if someone was, for example, wanting to create a website or to create a blog, is that the sort of thing you can also help people with?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. Look, if they want to come to me for a one-off piece of work, yes, I do that. Of course, typically communication needs to be done over and over again, which is why most people sort of then go for the 3 or 6 or 12 month plan. But yeah, if they've got a single piece of work, I did a piece of work about 6 months ago. I wrote an investor memorandum for somebody who was floating a business. He needed to get people to invest in it, and came to me because he wanted that investor memorandum to really make the value or the potential value of the business shine. So really any form of written communication where people need to get a clear message out to an audience, that's what I help them with.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Now, we were talking before this call, and I just thought it was worth weaving this into the conversation. We were talking about how we will always attract the right sorts of clients to us, that we have our own unique stamp, unique offering, and that the opportunity is to really just stand in our own knowing. Do you want to just add to that, because I thought that conversation we were having was well worth bringing up.
We were saying, weren't we, that it's very easy to sort of slip into that mindset of competition, or of it being a zero-sum game, but it's not. There is so much business out there. There are so many people that need your help, that need my help. Some of them will resonate with you, with me. Some of them won't, and it doesn't matter. The point is, I want to work with people that value what I do in being able to help them explain their value. And you know what? If people don't feel that they want to work with what I do, then that's fine. Or if I can recommend somebody that I think is going to help them with their needs, then I'll do that as well. That's the importance of putting out a really clear message, because part of your message is, who are you speaking to? You can only know I'm speaking to you if I speak to you, Jason. And if I'm trying to talk to everybody, I'm not going to really get the right people. I need to talk to a very specific audience, and they're the ones, hopefully, who will resonate with what I do. And there's more than enough out there for everyone.
That's absolutely true. That's the abundance philosophy is there's more than enough to go around. There's enough business for everybody. There's enough money for everybody. There's enough food for everybody. There's enough health and well-being for everybody. There's more than enough. And it's only we're our only ones that can pinch that off for ourselves. So So yeah. So, and do you have any at this time? You know, we're either in lockdown or in social isolation. Do you have any? Because this is a time that an opportunity for many to maybe be working on their businesses, maybe getting their messages refined. Do you have any tips around that at all?
Yes, look, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, the message I've been giving to my clients and to my marketplace is this is absolutely not the time to stop communicating. I think there are, in a situation like this, in a crisis, I think that people end up falling into one of three categories. There are the ones who just disappear off the radar altogether. They stop communicating, and you think, are they even still in existence? And you certainly don't want to be one of those. Then there are the ones who they're communicating, but they really are almost trying to take advantage of the situation. You know, there's a very fine line between, you know, having an opportunity and being opportunistic, as I heard Michelle Carson say the other day, that, you know, there's this fine line. So I think the second group are the ones who are being opportunistic. And then the third group are the ones who keep communicating with their customers, show leadership, use what they know to genuinely help their customers, and share really useful and helpful information. And that's really what I would be encouraging my clients and people to do, is get out there, share information that is genuinely useful to your market, and keep communicating. But if times are quiet or quieter, as they are for a lot of us, absolutely use that time to do strategic planning. You know, plan what your message is going to be. I do strategic message planning based on 7 key elements, and now is a really good time to do some of that stuff you perhaps haven't had time for. So get that planning done. Plan what communications you're going to get out for the next few months. Get all that stuff in place. Yeah, absolutely. Use this time wisely.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Carol, how do people contact you? I will put your website with the post of this, but it's good to have on the video as well in case they're listening to this somewhere else.
So my business is Words to Win. So that's words, number 2, win. The website is wordstowin.com.au. And they can contact me through LinkedIn or Carol Benton, with no dots, Carol Benton at wordstowin.com.au.
Wonderful, Carol. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to connect with you. And I just keep shining your light, keep doing what you love. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Jason. And look, I always love talking to you. You are so positive, and having done one of your workshops, I can, you know, I know that positivity is genuine, and I know that your abundance theory works. So look, thank you for inviting me to talk to you today. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Carol. See you later.
Bye-bye.